Good afternoon. Thanks to all of you for being here. Now is the time where I get to say, please silence your phones. On behalf of Ryan, Jennifer, and Fred, thanks for coming today. It's a very, very special day. Thanks for being here to celebrate Matt's life. And I know that Matt, even though he probably wouldn't say it, would be really happy to have everybody here at this time. Following Matt's service, there will be a reception at Jennifer and Fred's house. So please join us there. So let's begin with a prayer. Almighty God, from whom we come, to whom our hearts return, you have been our shelter, you've been our comfort in every generation, and our peace in every time of distress and trouble. Grant us your blessings as we remember and celebrate Matt's life, and strengthen our faith that we may confidently place our trust in you. May our spirits grow calm and our hearts content. Lift our eyes beyond the shadows of earth, that we might see the light of eternity. And may we find grace and hope for this and every time of need through you, our Savior and Lord. Amen. I'd like to share a quote from Frederick Bachman's book, A Man Called Obey. Death is a strange thing. People live their whole lives as if it does not exist, and yet it's often one of the great motivations for living. Some of us in time become so conscious of it that we live harder, we live more obstinately, we live with more fury. Some, on the other hand, need its constant presence to even be aware of its antithesis. Others become so preoccupied with it that they go into the waiting room long before it has announced its arrival. We fear it. Yet most of us fear more than anything that it may take someone other than ourselves. For the greatest fear of death is always that it will pass us by and leave us here alone. So, what are we, the left alone, to do? How and where do we find comfort in all of this? How do we reignite the joy? I believe very strongly that we do it through love. Love of family, love of faith, and love of friends. There's a lot of love in this room here today. Through love, together we will mourn, we'll grieve, we'll remember, we'll laugh, we'll cry, and most of all, we'll love. And this place today is filled with that love, and that's what's going to carry us on. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to share some memories. We're going to hear some memories from the ones that are very, very closest to Matt. Right? As Ryan, Jeff, and Fred, and Jennifer share their memories with us each. So
I want to start by thanking everybody for coming today to celebrate my dad. My dad was a very special man, and I will miss him every day. We shared so much together, but I know he will always be with me as I go through the rest of my life. I will forever keep him with me in my heart and my soul. Dad, I will do my best to always make you proud. Thank you, Dad. I love you.
Hello. For those of you who don't know, my name is Jeff, and Matt was my best friend. I first met Matt maybe 13 or 14 years ago when our sons started playing ball together. The boys played on the same football, basketball, and baseball teams over the years. So Matt and I became as close as two conservative, stubborn men of few words could be. We all have that person we look for to sit with while our kids play. Matt was mine. We came from two entirely different family situations, but Matt and I held a lot of the same views and values, and that's why we became and remain friends. What I will miss most about Matt, and what I will celebrate to keep his memory alive, was his humor, his kindness, and most of all, his willingness to help. When I think of Matt, two words come to mind. Yeah, sure. After thinking about it, yeah, sure, could have been how our friendship began. I'm sure it went something similar to this at one of the boys' earlier sporting events. Matt, always on time, sitting in his up-to-date camping chair. Me arriving late with my 70s-looking folding chair, asking him if the space next to him was open and if I could sit by him. Matt's response most likely was, yeah, sure. But the 70s called, they want their chair back. And that was coming from a guy who once accidentally brought a camping table to sit on instead of a chair. So many good laughs and memories with Matt. Matt was always willing to step up and help. Hey Matt, will you help me take stats for the boys basketball team? Yeah, sure. Hey Matt, will you help me coach the boys baseball team? Yeah, sure, but I don't want to be a base coach. Hey Matt, will you be a base coach? Yeah, sure. Hey Matt, can you come to coaches meetings with me? Yeah, sure. Hey Matt, I can't run practice tonight. Could you? Yeah, sure. Oh, and can you pick up and bring Sam J to and from practice? Yeah, sure. How about setting up and updating team calendars and communications? Yeah, sure. And finally, Matt, will you take 16-year-old Sam J to Las Vegas with you and Ryan for the baseball tournament? And could you watch over Sam in the crazy city? Oh, and could Sam tag along with you and Ryan during your tour at UNLV? Yeah, sure, no problem. Matt was always willing to step up, be involved, and help out. He was easygoing, kind, respectful, responsible, and truly cared about the kids he was coaching and mentoring. And he cared the most about Ryan. Ryan, you were the center of your dad's universe. So Ryan, in the spirit of your dad, if there's anything I can do for you, just ask. And you can be sure my response will be, yeah, sure. Matt, my friend, you'll be missed. Thanks.
I have to follow that. First of all, thank you to all of you for joining us on this beautiful Minnesota Day to celebrate the life and legacy of Matt Parratt. For those of you I haven't had the opportunity to meet yet, I'm Bradshaw, Jen's husband, Ryan's stepdad. Those are two titles that I hold very proudly. Sorry, didn't think I was going to do this. I say it with great pride, but also with the knowledge that Matt left very big shoes to fill. And I may not be able to fill them, but it won't be for lack of trying. And it won't be because, as Ryan likes to tell me, I have baby feet. For those who do know me, hey, thanks for coming. Thank you, Dave. I know we look like we could be twins, we share the same name, but we're not related by blood, but we are related by our love for Jen and Ryan. Baby, I'm sorry, I know I told you I would need a couple minutes, but it might not have been exactly accurate at that time frame. But I feel pretty safe with me being up here and you being over there right now, so we're just gonna roll. It's strange standing up here for several reasons. The first is to be talking about someone who left us so soon. The second, if I'm being completely honest, is that it's not every day that a man is asked to honor his wife's ex-husband with a few words, but I'm grateful for the opportunity. Third, because I didn't know Matt nearly as well as everyone else in this room, and I thought it would give me a chance to learn more about the details of the man to do this. A man who I fondly refer to as my ex-husband-in-law. In preparing for this, I realized how little I actually knew about the details of the man. I know who he worked for, but I couldn't tell you what he did. I don't know what his hobbies were, or if he had any. I don't know if he was a man of faith. I didn't learn anything new or substantive about the details of the man. But here's the important thing. It's not the details of the man that matter. It's the character of the man. And Matt had that in spades. There's a difference between what you would like to know about someone and what you need to know. And I realized that I already knew everything I needed to know about the character of the man. It was evident in his fierce love for his son, who was the center of his universe. We should have probably worked together on that because I just used one of your lines. There'd be a slight posture shift and a total change in his demeanor whenever Ryan would be in his orbit. His face would light up, and there was no hiding. Most importantly for me, it revealed itself in the admiration and respect he had for Jen. That truly speaks to the character of the man. And if there was a Wikipedia page on co-parenting, Jen and Matt's image surely would have been plastered on it somewhere. When it came to raising Rye, they were the Wonder Twins, they were Felix and Oscar. Younger folks might need to Google that one. The Golden Girls, all wrapped up in one neat package. They could have written a master class on parenting after divorce. And that speaks volumes not only to Matt's character, but to Jen's as well. Together, while apart, they raised Ryan and instilled in him the values and qualities that helped shape him into the fine young man that sits before us today. Who I'm very proud to call son. Ryan and Jen, if you haven't looked around the room, you should. It's filled with people who Matt touched. These same people are here to lift the two of you up, to wrap you in love. They've mourned Matt's passing with you, and now they celebrate his life with you. He will always be in their hearts as he is in yours. And it's that love that will always keep him alive and with us. Matt, rest easy knowing that the two people you cherish most are in good hands. We will miss you, but we will never forget you. Thank you all for joining our family today to honor and celebrate Matt.
I'm the only one that needs glasses. Thank you guys all for coming, and most importantly, for the outpouring of love and support you all have shown both Ryan and me during this extremely difficult time. Matt would be humbled and most importantly touched by all of this, right after he got over his anger towards me for doing it. It would go sort of like, what the hell are you doing, Jennifer? Oh well. I have so many perspectives from which I could celebrate Matt's life. His wife, the mother to his son, his ex-wife, and over the last 10 years, my dear friend, my parenting partner, and always my family. I choose today to celebrate what truly brought Matt all of the happiness in his life, and that was his son, Ryan. Most commonly referred to by Matt and I over all these years simply as the boy. Matt's whole world shifted on October 9th, 2002, when the light of his life, Ryan Matthew Parratt, entered this world. Both of ours did, for that matter. Matt came alive with pride, love, compassion, and a nurturing for his son in a way I never fully expected to see. So much so that at times I wondered what my purpose was as his mother. The fact that Ryan did not sleep for the first 3 years of his life gave me all of the job security that I needed. As Ryan grew, Matt was front and center for every sport that his son showed interest in. He supported him, he coached him, he cheered for him, and he protected him. Matt and I would often laugh at our then very vertically challenged son that aspired to be an NBA player. Nonetheless, he was at every basketball game, either coaching or cheering on the boy. As Ryan's love for baseball started to develop, Matt flourished through baseball. Not only have we met our chosen family, but Matt found some of his closest friends and confidants. I know he cherished each of you in different ways. Whether having Stacy Moots heckle him from the third base sideline for sending our slowest runners, one of which was our son and her son, or making fun of his uniform attire, which consisted of a Nike dickie underneath a short-sleeved jersey with a pair of shorts in 32-degree weather. Yep. Or he might be calming down Jody Anderson when we tackled very unsportsmanlike teams on the field. He might be asking for the pitch count from Andrew Hegstad, his trusted bookkeeper, or simply enjoying a cigar or two after a tournament with his dear friend, constant companion on the field, and co-coach Jeff Johnson. He loved all of you, and most importantly, thoroughly enjoyed every minute he shared with you on the field and off. I know that as I navigate parenting, our prized possession, without Matt as my beacon, he will be with me, and most importantly, with you, Ryan, every day. He will help me guide in the decisions that I now make without him, but always with him in my heart and always in my ear. As many of you know, I'm a salesperson at heart. This character trait Matt was proud of as I built my career in our early life. It later turned into a trait that he would come to find great humor in. While trying to persuade Matt to see my point of view regarding decisions around Ryan's sports, his education, his extracurricular activities, and even when grounding him for being naughty, which I know none of you believe he would ever do. I would give him so much info, coaxing, and convincing that he would finally bust and say, "Jennifer, stop, you got the sale." Words that I will remember forever and with such a deep love and gratitude. The son that Matt shared in raising has grown into a resilient, kind, loving, humorous, and practical young man. All traits that will help him as he too navigates his world without his daddaroo. Ryan, I promise you this one thing. I feel Dad's arm wrapped around you today, and I hear him whispering in your ear, "It's okay, son, I love you." I will close with truly thanking all of you in this room and those that are taking the time to watch from afar. Our lives have forever changed, and everyone here is a huge part of how we navigate that change and emerge as I know Matt would want for Ryan. Matty Parratt, as I commonly called you for 22 years, we love you. Our hearts are broken. But today, your memory and our faith that you are with us will help Ryan and I start to heal. Rest in peace knowing one thing. The thing that I know is your greatest wish. I've got our boy.
Well, thank you all for sharing wonderful stories. And I'm sure that there's going to be a lot more of those stories before the day is over. It's really good. I wish I told Jen, I wish I would have known about Maddie Parratt a long time ago. Because Jeff and I would have had a good time with that. Matt and I met through baseball, as did a lot of us. And my memories of my friend are many. He was a good man, a really good man. A good dad to Ryan, good co-parent to Jennifer, good mentor to the boys, a good friend to Fred, and a good friend to the moms and the dads. They all became family. We all became family. Matt loved coaching baseball. He loved the boys, but more than that, he loved the young men that they've become. He loved the weekend road trips as we did wheel, and the mom and dad times of fellowship that we all enjoyed. He loved a good meal, followed by a good cigar, followed by some good music and some good stories. All in all, we had a wonderful time, and Matt's passing was such a shock for everyone. Mourning his absence is going to take us a good while. Grief has its habit, it sets its own pace, it sets its own intensity. We each handle it differently. There's no schedule to follow, there's no map to guide us, there's no right or wrong way to travel through it. The only certainty concerning grief is its inevitability. On a trip to Lake Superior a couple weeks ago, I was reminded of what grief is like. On that particular day, that lake was as calm as Lake Superior can ever get. The slight chilly breeze, waves lapping gently against the shore. But it's not always that way. It can turn on a dime. Other times we've been there, the lake has been angry, it's been wild, out of control, slamming relentlessly against the rocks. That's kind of what light grief is like. Sometimes it's calm, clear, settled, manageable. Then all of a sudden it turns cloudy, chaotic, angry, confusing, unrelenting. And to make our way through, we just have to learn how to swim. And we can do that. We will. The greatest life jacket any of us possess and have at our disposal is love. The very love that fills this room today. Right? It's the glue that will bind us. It's the glue that will hold us together as we move forward on our next journey. And that love will teach us how to swim and how to navigate the rough, the raucous, the uncharted waters of grief. Because love is and will always be our defining hope. A note from a wedding I did for our granddaughter. The same thing applies. It was filled with love. This is filled with love, and I offered this at their wedding, and I'll offer this again today. Love is compassion, sometimes gentle, sometimes firm, but all times just. Love is faith. Love is kindness. Love is grace. Love is trust. Love is selfless. Love is here. Therefore, love is enough. Thanks be to God, and amen. I would like to share a reading of scripture, one of my favorite scriptures from the book of Isaiah, the 4th chapter, when God was talking to Isaiah. He said, "Fear not, for I have ransomed you. By your name I have called you to me. There's no need to pine, for you are mine, and mine you shall always be. When you pass through life's rivers, I'll be with you, and your body the waters shall not inundate. And when you walk through the flames, unburned you'll remain. No fire shall ever consume your fate. And I, your God and Savior, will rescue you in your plight, with a love strong and sure that knows no pause. Do not fear. I am here to take up your cause, for you are precious in my sight." And so we walk on, ever precious in our Father's sight, realizing that Matt's absence has left such a huge void, yet also assured that we can fill that void with loving memories, drenched in the love of family and friends surrounding us all the time. And that someday those memories will again become real as we celebrate that great reunion, and spend life, eternity in heaven, wrapped in the arms of God. So pray with me. Lord, may we recall these moments of prayer as we seek understanding, rebirth, renewal, release. The joy of all we've been blessed to share, the joy of your grace, Father, your wisdom, your peace. And may we treasure the memories together we've had amidst these times of new journeys begun. And may we find renewed joy during times so sad. Joy in what's yet to come. As Matt's journey here draws to a close, filled with fond memories that we'll never forget. Though this chapter ends, a new chapter begins. And for Matt, it's the birth of the best chapter yet. And at some later time in line with your plan, together again, oh, the stories we'll tell. But for now, as Matt goes holding your hand, Lord, we know you hold ours as well. May it be so. Amen. And now, into your hands, Holy God, we commend your servant. In this life, you embraced him with your tender love. Now welcome him into eternal rest with you. Matthew Parratt, child of God, husband, dad, brother, uncle, friend, coach. As you walk this path from earthly life to eternal home, may you hear the familiar voices of loved ones and friends. May you hear the tender call of God's sweet invitation. May you experience eternally the love of both. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So as we go, remember we have a get-together at Fred and Jennifer's house. We thank you so much for coming today and for being here to share your love and your stories about Matt with all of us. So as we go, receive this blessing. And now as we walk on through life, with its challenges and joys, its ups and downs, its pains and pleasures, may God remain steadfast at our side and always be the shoulder we can lean on, the rock we can stand on, the hope we can move forward on, the soft place we can land on, right? The promise we can mend on, and the love. The all-powerful, all-encompassing, never-ending, outrageous, crazy good love we can always depend on. In His glorious name we pray. Amen. That finishes our service for today. So, Ryan, Jen, and Fred will be in a receiving line. I'll get back and we'll make our way through. Thank you so much again for coming.